Hi, everyone. I'm here with Elizabeth Jacobowitz. Elizabeth teaches our sensory repatterning classes, and she'll be facilitating our upcoming workshop called the IPSB Movement Series. So a little bit about the series, it's going to be 100% online. It'll run for an hour every Tuesday, Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. starting January 26th, Tuesday, and running through February 25th. It promises kinesthetic awareness, flow, art making, and a little bit of self-reflection too. So I think that sells itself, but I will let Elizabeth provide a fuller description. Before we dive in though, Elizabeth, do you mind sharing a little bit about your background in bodywork, as well as teaching, and the work that you do now, what you're really passionate about?
Awesome. Thank you for having me here, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes, so I have been a body worker since 2001. My undergrad was in health and exercise science, and I knew that I wanted to explore some other avenues of healing. I was looking at physical therapy in med school, and then I got drawn into body work.
Wow.
And it was just something that it felt so good to be helping people and to have them walk out of the room feeling better already.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I've been a body worker since 2001. In 2002, I did the IPSB teacher training down in San Diego, where I did my training at the original Institute for Psychostructural Balancing in San Diego, which then went by IPSB College, or the International Professional School of Bodywork, same acronym. But yeah, so I've been teaching since, and I love being in the classroom. It reinforces all the things that I've learned and helps me learn things on deeper levels. And I love seeing how students light up with new information and new ideas and how they can incorporate those.
Wonderful. So what is the IPSB Movement Series? What does it derive from, and what was the intention of those who created it?
Yeah, so it was created in the early days of IPSB by, let's see, by Nancy Ursulik in
Right.
San Diego. Yeah, in San Diego with Nancy Ursulik and Kay Richardson. And the idea is that we do a dance around the table, that when we're doing body work, we're not just using our hands, that of course we want to be using our full body. And to be able to really access our full body, we get to know our bodies better and be able to find different ways of moving. So this technique, this IPSB movement series, was really developed to enhance the dance around the table. It started with the idea of circulatory massage and how do we use our whole body during circulatory massage, but it can be used for any type of body work. And it's a little different than Tai Chi. So Tai Chi slows us way down. I love Tai Chi. And it's a great way to really focus on the nuances of things and to develop Chi. The IPSB movement series is faster paced. We play, it's usually done to music, and we play a lot with putting together breath, movement of the feet, movement of the upper body, the arms, and creating a dance, dance-like movement. So it's really fun. And we do moving isolations, we do some stretching, we do a lot to bring body awareness so that when we're working around the table, oh, we know where serratus anterior is and how that can help us stabilize to really be pouring in the way that we want to.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. I didn't realize the dance piece of this. And would you say it's accessible though for someone who maybe feels a little bit intimidated by the thought of
Totally. Yes, it's playful. We do it to music, and also we're always breaking down. I teach it in a whole part whole kind of way so that we'll just play and move with it. And if you don't get it, that's fine, no problem. And then we break down the pieces of it, and then we do the whole thing. So we're learning, playing with the whole thing, learning a little chunk, playing with the whole thing, learning a little chunk. So it's something that definitely is accessible to everyone. And yeah, so definitely don't worry about the dance part. It's just a playful, fun way to be embodied.
That sounds great. So would you say that it's, because you're saying like the whole versus the parts, is there kind of a choreographic element to it then? Is there a sequence of movement?
There is a sequence that will be learned. So yes, so it'll be something that if after the class people want to do it on their own, they're going to be able to do it on their own.
Okay.
And but it's also playful within it. So yeah.
Cool. That's great, because that means that after the class is over, we can take away, a specific form. I almost want to say the word form, thinking of Tai Chi, but right, like a whole piece that we can keep with us,
Yes.
in practice, and have as a tool and a resource.
And it's one of those things that I think that as body workers, even after we've got a lot of body awareness and know how to move around the table, it's also really helpful to come back to the basics, to come back to finding, okay, where's my shoulder? How's my shoulder want to move? What's it doing today?
Yeah.
That it's not always the same.
Right.
And as a body worker, I know I can also get very much into my head, and then I'm to the table, and where's that connection to my body, and how am I keeping that awareness even as my practice has developed over the years?
Yeah, beautiful. So that was, I think you just answered my next question, which is, in your experience from teaching this series and having applied it to your own life, what do you see as the greatest benefits of having a practice? It sounds like it's a practice, really.
It can be a practice. I don't know a lot of body workers who usually do this on their own, but we would always do this when we had a practice session. And to be able to bring that back in, doing that and coupling it with Tai Chi, because they're great complements to each other.
Right.
Similar in learning body awareness, and also different with, also the movement series is much more rhythmic.
Okay.
And the Tai Chi, has a very slow rhythm to it.
Yeah. It's a slow flow.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah. I was just wondering, so it sounds like what this work really offers, whether you're still studying, or whether you're a seasoned body worker, it sounds like it's bringing us back to our own awareness of our bodies, and how things feel, how things want to move, and how that applies to when we're actually in a session, when we're moving around the table, and connecting with another body.
Yeah, and having that connection with yourself when you're connecting with another body is so important, because if we're not aware of what's happening in our own bodies, then we're not aware of what we're translating to the client as well. Yeah. And yeah, so to be able to translate the flow, the rhythm, the ease, the joy, the playfulness, coming back to those principles are a lot of the things that I like to come back to, because that's what feels good.
Yeah, that's what feels really good. Yeah, and I think similar to what we've been taught, and I think we've all experienced, especially at IPSB, learning the Tai Chi form and applying that to the work, is that it allows us to resource ourselves while we do the work.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that aspect of playfulness and joy, like to bring lightness to the work. And I think that's so important right now in these times.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really one of the main reasons why we wanted to bring this series to IPSB right now, is because we want our students, we want our alumni, everyone in our community to be as resourced as possible and to have the tools to be able to take care of themselves. So we're so excited to be offering this.
I'm super excited to be bringing it to LA.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask, so I did see that there's some art making involved. Can you speak a little bit to what that is, what people can expect?
Yeah. Well, first of all, just like with the idea of dance, there's no previous art experience necessary. You can be drawing stick figures. In fact, some of my handouts have stick figures for you. So that's perfect. And we're going to be playing with color, line, shape, as well as some journaling of what are our awarenesses, what's happening in our body, so that it's really an anchor. The term crystallization is coming to mind, which is that it's okay, yeah, we can just go through the movements and that can be fun and playful and delightful. And how do we anchor it into our bodies, and how do we anchor it into our consciousness as well, of what are the shifts that happen, and how do we recognize that it's not that this is just fun. It is, and if that's all you get, great. And there's also a little deeper layer to it, and this will be a way that we get to playfully explore that idea of embodiment and how do we articulate it.
Okay. Wow. Beautiful.
It should be a lot of fun, and that idea of connecting in more deeply with ourselves, and doing it in a playful way, so it's not so serious.
Yeah, not so serious.
Yeah.
And then lastly, are there what materials do students need to have? So for the art making specifically, should we have like colored pencils or crayons or paints, or come wearing yoga clothes or those?
Yeah, definitely come wearing clothes that are easy to move in. That's the biggest spot of it. And then a space that's like maybe 6 feet or so that you can easily move side to side a couple steps.
Mm-hmm.
A yoga mat is probably something you'd want, or if you have carpeted floor, that's fine. And then as far as art supplies, we're probably not going to get into paints, but things that are colored that are easy to have on hand. So yes, colored pencils. I love water soluble oil pastels. That's
Yeah.
getting a little specific. You don't have to go there. But those are really rich and juicy to me. Markers. And having a few different options would be great. Not necessary, but great. And then paper. Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share specifically about the work, or anything that you felt was left out?
I think that we pretty much covered it. It's really a great way to come back to basics joyfully, playfully, and that there's self-care in there, that it's really taking some time for you. And then all these other benefits that benefit your practice is great. They're great too. And that it's a great way to check in with you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Michelle.
And thanks, everyone. I hope you all join in. The intention is to hold this series a few times over this year. So, if you aren't able to make it to this first one, it is going to come back around. So, yeah, stay tuned. And I will link all the information you'll need to sign up and read more about the class.